Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. Today we are doing a quick little movie review, and the movie review is going to be on, drumroll please, Superman 2025. To cut all the shit out of the way, if you just come here to see a review, even though it's in the thumbnail, doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, this movie is an 8 out of 10, a B plus. This movie's great. It's a great start to the new DCU that James Gunn is heading. But yeah, I think it's a great movie. If you want the short and simple, quick answer, cliff notes, go see this movie. If you love superheroes, if you love comic book movies, I think this movie will be great for you. Uh, yeah, let's get into the pros and cons. We'll start with the cons first. I definitely think this movie's runtime. The main con is the runtime. I think all my other cons will kind of fit into the runtime, and if the runtime was longer, none of these other cons slash negatives would really exist. But I think the movie runs for about 2 hours. So you take about 10 minutes off for credits. So it's about an hour and 45 minutes. I think an extra 20 minutes of actual actual screen time would have been more beneficial because it would have given us, which is on one of my first negatives, more Clark Kent. I think this movie doesn't have enough Clark Kent. There are moments where he's in the Superman outfit. Like there's a great moment. It's in the trailer where he's in an apartment with Lois Lane, and there's a interdimensional imp in the background. And even though he's in his Superman clothes, he's still Clark. Even though he's in the Superman outfit, he's still Clark Kent. But I definitely think there could have been a lot more Clark Kent moments in this movie. Because of the short runtime, I think sometimes it can feel a little bit messy and jumpy at times, a story, but it's never to an extent where you're like, I don't know what's going on. This is too confusing. It's more just like, oh, we're here now. Okay, sweet. So yeah, it can get a bit messy and jumpy at times, but it's not. It doesn't hinder the film in any real way. Hawk Girl, I would have liked to have seen a bit more. Same with kind of the more Clark Kent. Um, Green Lantern and Miss Terrific uh, get a lot of time to shine. Not a lot of time, but they get their time to shine. I think Hawk Girl doesn't. She gets the one big moment which kind of wraps up a subplot. But I definitely think a bit more Hawk Girl would have been cool to see. And the last real con slash negative, and this is the big one, along with this is bigger than the runtime. I think Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is amazing. There's one scene in particular where he has a Russian roulette moment, and I think that scene that happens there is amazing, and it's really good shock value. Like you're shocked when it happens, but it's in a good way. They never really go down that path with Lex Luthor again, and I think it would have been really good. He does have a scene where he throws a pencil at someone, which sets up kind of the ending arc of the film. However, I think that would have been a bit more impactful if he pushed her. So, that doesn't really matter. If he pushed that person, I think it would have been a bit more impactful. Which sounds weird. It sounds very wild to say, but when you watch the film, you understand what I mean. But besides that, there's not many other real negatives really to the film. No glaring negatives where you're going to sit there and be like, wow, this sucks. Onto the pros. The colors and visuals of this movie are amazing. The color and like the way that they add color to this film, it's very much taken the aesthetics from comic books and the vibe that kind of comic books give, and they have put that straight on the big screen. The only thing that comes close, in my opinion, is Deadpool. But even then, I think they get the Deadpool character so right in the Deadpool films. But in this film, they've got just the feeling of what it means to be a superhero and what comic books mean. I think they've put that so well on the big screen. One of the best. There's two great visuals that, off the top of my head, I can like. I did see this film 3 days ago, so it's a bit. I should record this straight after. But the two visuals I remember clear as day is the one where he saves someone and he comes out of this building and all this rubble, and you see all this debris around Superman, and you're seeing it from the point of view of the person he saved, and you see him rise up above all this rubble and debris, and the sun's in the background, kind of breaking through the clouds, and you just kind of see Superman in the forefront of this background of just debris and destruction, and like the feeling it gives is a lot of like hope. Like I see all this destruction, but yet I can see Superman. I think it's such a great just scene that you're seeing Superman, even with all this destruction, floating above, and it's really, I think it's a very impactful message for Superman. The other really cool visual, um, you've seen in the trailer, they enter. I'll try not to spoil it too much, but they enter a river and they go near a black hole, and oh my god, it's like an acid trip mixed with DMT. It's amazing. um, but yeah, the visuals in that are fucking phenomenal. Superman has an awesome moment where he uses frost breath in that, and it's fucking, and it's such an amazing scene. Superman being human is another massive pro for me in this film. When you look at Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, just Superman's human side is very neglected. Like you see him just kill people. Not I well, yeah, he does it pretty much on purpose, but inadvertently in Man of Steel, he's killing people by throwing Zod through buildings and crashing through buildings, and all those people are dead. Superman doesn't care. At the end of the film, he shows no remorse. Batman v Superman, he lets a whole courtroom blow up when he doesn't have to. I think in this movie, James Gunn and especially David Cornsweet, I think it's pronounced, he's an amazing Superman, and he has brought such a humanity to Superman. There is a great scene at the very end of the film where Superman's talking to Lex, and he says, they're talking about Lex calls him an illegal alien. He goes, "This is why I've always hated you. You're an alien." And Superman replies with, "That's where you always have been wrong about me, Lex. I'm as human as anyone. I love, I get scared, I wake up every morning, and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other and I try to make the best choices I can. I screw up all the time, but that is being human." That is such a perfect quote and such a perfect quote from Superman to give to Lex Luthor, especially with the dynamic that both of them have. I spoke earlier about Lex Luthor and Nicholas Holtz's portrayal of Lex Luthor. I think it's out of the park. His ability to be an absolute hater is on the level of Skip Bayless in 2013 to 2018 about LeBron. It is phenomenal, and anyone that is an avid day hater, take notes from Lex Luthor. Per usual, soundtrack for James Gunn films, it's really good. Going into the next pro, Mr. Terrific has a great fighting scene on the beach. It's definitely the highlight of the film. The only thing that comes close is probably those two that Superman visual and the moment in the with the black hole in the river. But yeah, that Mr. Terrific scene is amazing. He's just aura farming in front of Superman's girl, and it's a great scene. Guy Gardner and Crypto, fucking amazing. They're great. Nathan Fillion does a great Guy Gardner. I don't know if it's in the trailer, but there's a bit where he's flipping up cars and you see the manifestation he's made, and it's just a middle finger, like a hand with a middle finger. It's great. It's so Guy Gardner. It's great. Crypto's amazing. He's a great part of this film. We'll definitely be seeing him in a future film. If you know how this film ends, he'll definitely be in the future films. The other three things I wanted to touch on is I have a bit of not devil's advocates, but kind of things that I'm interested to see what they do with because they didn't really do much here. I think the next film will definitely do a lot more of Clark's parents, Earth parents, and his parents from Krypton. It's not touched on too much. There's a bit of a subplot there, but it's not touched on too much. But I definitely think in the next installment, the next Superman, that will be a main focal point. And the other two are kind of Superman's early days as Superman and how Lois and Clark met. I assume we'll get an answer to both of them either in an animated show or TV shows. But yeah, besides that, yeah, this movie's great. It's a fun watch. It's really enjoyable. There are a couple moments where you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but even then, it's a great movie. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but there's Superman. Let's just say doesn't win every fight in this. And when I first watched, it, I was like, this is stupid. Like, that's a bit silly. Not stupid. That's a bit silly. But then at the start of the film, it literally explains. It literally gives a whole reasoning to that. Which, yeah, I don't know. You read at the start of the movie, and then I guess I forgot about it. But yeah, it pretty much fucking explains everything in the movie of why Superman the way that it is explains why Superman is the way that he is and why he's at that power level. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have. I hope you just enjoyed this little review. I plan on doing some for movies that I go out and see that I'm really excited for. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go out and see this movie. It's a fucking fun time. But yeah, until next time, guys.